Thursday morning, man, and it's still not rained any. But I gotta say, there seems to be some of the customers are, you know, the ones that are local around here. They're calling me because I haven't been there. You know, the ones that didn't call me to not do their yard, they are calling me. Are you coming this week? You know, and I know that if I tell them, no, I'm going to skip this week, then it would be fine. But you want to try to keep everybody on the schedule. So the ones that bailed this week, didn't want me to come, whatever, then it's going to be 2 more weeks before I go. And the ones that didn't bail, it's going to be 2 more weeks, you know, after I do it today or tomorrow, it'll be 2 weeks. You know, I'm not going to restructure the whole routing of the whole business because of a drought. I'm going to have to do some of that by default, but I left the man lift out there butt naked, man. Well, I don't like to leave it where somebody can just back up to it and take it, so let me turn around, and what I do is I like to lift it up in the air or put the rigs out or something. I forgot all about that. I meant to do that before I pulled off. So, yeah, because somebody will take it, man. There's a lot of damn. They had one local person in my area where somebody stole their whole freaking enclosed trailer. Just backed up to it and took it. And them enclosed trailers are not, you know, I wouldn't leave nothing in an enclosed trailer. I don't never like leaving a trailer without where somebody can just back straight up to it and take it, whether it's empty, full, or whatever. So I make it really hard for somebody to do that, and it ain't impossible, but it's really hard. Like with the equipment trailer, I use the skid steer to take it off the truck, right? To unhook it from the truck. It ain't sitting there all pretty where another truck can just back up to it and take it. It's got a lock on it, and it's all the way down on the ground. And for you to be able to get it high enough up to get it on a truck, it won't go that high. You have to be able to pick it. You have to have a jack or a machine. And ain't nobody gonna, you know. So let me walk up in here and take care of this real quick. I got some of the customers calling me, like I was saying, you know, or asking me if I'm coming this week. And the ones that ain't calling me are the ones that are telling me, hey, don't come this week. So, you know, it just creates a big lack of efficiency where, like I've said, you know, for the last 2 weeks, I'm just not willing to be that inefficient. I'm just not willing to do it because I'm not making nearly as much money on the lawns when we take $300 off of a route, you know. So I don't want to go do the 5 or 6 that are on that same route, because if I do them this week, then they're not going to need it when the other ones need it, and vice versa. So that's a big problem, man, for right now. Now, if you're new in the game and you know you don't have no money saved up or anything like that, then you might have to go do that work for a little bit less money. Well, you're not charging less, but it's going to cost you more, so you're making less. I'm just not willing to do that, man. Not with the equipment that I have and everything. Now, if a customer calls me on one of those routes and they say, hey, Ray, I got family coming down, blah, 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 any way that you could possibly do it before the weekend, blah, 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 you know, then I will try to make arrangements. But I can't guarantee it, but I probably would be able to. But just on the day-to-day routine mowing, I'm just not willing to take a $200 or $300 hit on an $800 route. I'm just not willing to do that. Well, you know, $200 or $300 is better than nothing. Well, if that's all that it was going to cost me for the big picture, then I would be okay with that. But see, it's going to cost me a lot more than that, because you got to be thinking about, what do you do next week when all the ones you ain't doing this week because it's so dry, they're going to be wanting you to do it next week. And so it's going to cost a lot more than just what you're losing today, because you're going to lose that same amount. I mean, I shouldn't really have to explain it to any of you G's out here, because y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. I'd rather sit at home than, you know, be inefficient. Of course, we're not sitting at home, so I might think different if I were actually sitting at home, but I'm not. So a couple things. So that tree job yesterday, I know that, you know, she's a regular customer of mine, blah, blah, all that good stuff. But she is only willing to spend $2,500. So I came at her at like $2,900. She said she said she didn't have it. She said she could do $2,500. That's all she has budgeted for that. And I'm like, well, you got to respect that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for $2,500. But a couple of things that we're not worried about the stump on the pine tree. So that's one thing that I'm not going to have to do. And she said that I can put some of the debris up in the woods there. So if we can minimize one trip to the dump, you know, say we got 3 trips to the dump, if we can make that 2 trips to the dump, then that's, well, better than 3 trips to the dump. And I know I'm going to have people come, well, I wouldn't even do it for that. I wouldn't even, you know, well, I don't know where you're going to go and be able to make, you know, I'll be able to easily profit $1,500, you know, on that job and profit. And it won't take 2 full days or nothing, because we're going to, y'all saw I pulled the man lift out. I got it trained to go. So when I get done this morning, I'm probably going to run the man lift over there and set it up. And if I feel froggy, I'll go on and scale that tree and go on and put the rope up in the tree. Now y'all see that thing in the window back there? That's the big shot. It's a slingshot for trees and stuff. So, all right, y'all. So that's an 80. How long did it take me? It took me about 40 minutes. But I did a little bit of stuff over there extra because it's the first time I've been to the property since I hired Toby. So he's been doing the property, been doing a pretty good job of it, but he doesn't spray, and I did. So, and I hit a few little spots that he would never have known to hit, you know. And also slid the trampoline over and cut under the trampoline. I don't think that he's been cutting under the trampoline. Whenever there's a trampoline on site, I always just slide and move it out of the way, unless they tell me, you know, different. And what I do is I just use the mower to kind of push it around a little bit. Now, some of them have those anchors, you know, that hold it down to the ground, but then what I do is I spray under it. If I can't move it, then I'll spray under it, but then I know that's the permanent place they want to keep it. So then I'll just spray under it to keep all the tall grass from growing up underneath it. He hadn't been doing that, but, you know, that's not a big deal. I want to get to the real money, man. You know, I want to do the tree job. I mean, I don't even want to even be fooled with these lawns, man. If it was up to me, and I didn't have, you know, things already in the works, then I would have just put everything on the side, and we'd have went and did that tree job today, or at least a piece of it. I know we're going to be over there more than a day, so my thinking is go over there, like I said earlier, and get the man lift work out of the way, and get the man lift home. And then when we do go over there, it's all about just hauling and skid steer. You don't have to have all these pieces of equipment in the way and stuff. All right, y'all, so we got done with the lawns we're going to do today. We still got a few hours, so we're going to go over here and try to get the top out of that pine tree. yeah, so I really need him to grab the dump trailer, man, so we can have it too. So because I mean, if we're gonna be over there, we might as well take a load out of there, right? I mean, why not? Especially like I'm talking about on the cherry tree. The cherry tree is a tree that we're gonna hand load it. So yeah. But he's gonna wrap up the yards that he does. He's gonna wrap them up, and then he's gonna come over here. We're just trying to go on and make sure that we are doing the work and that we are trying to stay ahead, because now I got some customers calling me talking about they want me to come do the lawn, and then I know 4th of July is coming up, so you know a lot of people are going to want you to do their lawn before the 4th, and they're not going to be thinking about how dry it is. They're just going to say, hey, I need my yard cleaned up, I got company coming or whatever. So a lot of that's going to be going on next week. So I know that, I'm anticipating that. So I'm not going to be able to be stuck up in a damn middle of a tree job next week. So, yeah. Yeah, y'all. Okay, y'all. So, like I said, y'all see I got the man lift hooked up. I'm just gonna go over here and position the man lift, and we're gonna try to do a little bit the next about 3 hours, 2.5 hours that we're gonna work today. We're gonna go on and try to get at least one load out of there. That's the goal anyway. You never know what you know. So a lot can go wrong, but we striving, y'all. We striving. Something about tree work that gives this business, or you know, for me, when I do tree stuff, it's a rush almost. The money's a rush, but also the method and the figuring out of how you're going to get it on the ground safely and all that's a rush for me. It's like, I don't know, man, ever since I saw that tree and I worked the money out with her, it's the only thing I can think about is doing this tree. And you know, am I broke? I'm not broke. You know, I don't have to do it this week or nothing, but I know it needs done, and I know there's good money in it, and I know I can do it with a little bit of figuring. So, and it's so dry over there right now, I can pull the truck in. I can drive my truck anywhere on the property I want to. So yeah, I'm gonna have him come over there with the dump trailer, and we're gonna go on and get that cherry tree cut to where we can all we need is a skid steer to get it on up. We'll cut all the branches off of it and all the, you know, the junk. I got a buddy of mine that we're gonna be over at his house next weekend. He's gonna have a barbecue or get together for 4th of July. So I texted him and I'm like, hey man, I'm finna take down a pretty decent sized cherry tree. You want to use some of it for smoking? He's like, hell yeah. So probably pretty good smoke wood, I would imagine. Go. Go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, y'all, so y'all see it, and according to plan, went perfect. We didn't really want to put it up here on the grass up here, but we didn't really see no way to do it. If we go that way, there's a chance it could have went that way and hit that other pine tree. So this right here will work. All right, y'all, I'm going home, man. Y'all see that shit, man? Mission accomplished. Didn't go quite like I wanted it to, but when you do a lot of tree stuff, you figure out ways to do stuff. And I was getting a lot of my head was, I don't know, I haven't done any big trees in a while, you know, where I had to rope it up and all that, man. So, you know, I'm just like, well, it's taking me a lot longer to do stuff up in the tree. But it went just like we wanted it to go. It really did. I mean, when I was thinking about how I was going to do it before we got there, and I'm, you know, telling you guys, all that's subject to change once you get to a tree like that, because you never know what is going on with it. And the first thing I recognized with it was the side closest to the street was real soft. So I knew that I didn't want to cut into all that, and because when the saw hit it, it just kind of went through it, and I'm like, oh. I need to be over here on the hard side because, well, it's kind of confusing. You got to kind of feel things, and I didn't have the rope in the ideal location. It was good enough for that tree, but not, you know. But you figure it took us, well, we did like 300 in lawns, and then the tree. So, and what I like about having Toby out here is, like, right now he's going to get the dump trailer, and he's going to bring the dump trailer back over there and drop it, and then I'm going to come back over there with the skid steer, and I might load it up. You know, I want to get some of the mess picked up before she comes home. I mean, you know, I don't have to, but we're going to be over there tomorrow either way. We only got a couple of yards to cut tomorrow, and then I just want to get some of the limbs up and start working on cleaning it up, because cleaning up that type of stuff is that's the real work, really. I remember when I worked for a tree surgeon when I was in my early 20s, and he would climb the trees, and I was the ground guy. I was, you know, the only guy that worked for him. I was the ground guy, and, you know, he would do these jobs, and I'd be like, damn, man, you know, he'd climb up the tree, you take the top out, drop it to the ground, I'd feed it into a chipper, he'd come on down the tree, and there might be 4 trees he's doing on that one property. He'd do one tree, be on the job for about 2 hours maybe. you know, and then he'd dip, and then come back the next day and do another one. And I learned a lot from that old man. He taught me a lot, so much so that that a lot of what he taught me is just like second nature to me. One thing that he taught me that's about business is he said, look, man, you know, I'd be like, you know, I'm 21 years old, young, dumb, and you know, got all this energy, and you know, and I'm like, man, you making $3,000 a tree, let's do them all in one day. He said, no, that ain't how you do it, because if you do it like that, the people ain't gonna want to pay you $9,000 for 6 hours of work. That's how he thought anyway. And that, you know, is pretty true. It really is. I mean, that is pretty true, because of the fact that, well, it shouldn't matter, but it really does, especially when you're dealing with customers and you want repeat customers. Customers feel a certain type of way when you go on a job and you spend an hour and they're paying you $3,000. Even though they shouldn't, they do. And so he was aware of that, and this was, you know, I mean, I'm 55, so this was 30 years ago. You know, I wasn't even 25 when I worked for him. I was about 20, 21. But you know, there's a certain high to doing tree work too. Oh, Ray, you just high on the money. Well, yeah, the money's always good, but there's a certain level of risk versus reward that, you know, a guy like me, I really like. Especially when I know the customer, I know they're going to pay, I know I'm not going to have no problems getting my money. I know. Chucky, and yeah, it's 2 o'clock. I just want to kind of drop Chucky off, and I kind of want to get some of the bigger stuff piled up. We got the dump trailer sitting over here. Of course, I can maneuver the dump trailer wherever I want it. This job is right up the road from the bamboo site. I could literally ride my skid steer from the bamboo site to this job if I wanted to. But so I got a place I can park the equipment trailer. So yeah. But I want to try to cut this thing into the bigger pieces as possible. So I may just grab 5 or 6 big hunks, you know, of the trunk, and you know, if I can get a couple of 15-foot pieces on the dump trailer, that'd be really good. It looks like it's going to rain too, man. And they're not calling for rain, but it sure looks like it. That works too. I normally don't do this kind of thing, but you know, you're doing this tree stuff, making that kind of money, man, you get geeked up, man. I'm hungry, man. But you know, I'm just setting up for tomorrow, because I got to make up the time that I'm going to be going to the doctor. So